Welcome to this wire jewelry tutorial. Today we're going to be making these super cute flowers and turning them into earrings. To create the flowers, we will be using this 20 gauge wire, and this is a silver plated copper wire. And of course, we need a pair of ear wires in whatever style you like. Then we're going to use a ruler and then a size 2 ring mandrel, which is about a 1/2 inch diameter. Pliers we will be using are the nylon jaw pliers, the wire cutters, and a bent chain nose plier. To begin, we're going to pull out the length of our wire and straighten it and smooth it out with the nylon jaw pliers. Next, we are going to measure out 12 inches of wire. Now, the ruler that I keep in my jewelry box is only a 6-inch ruler, but if you want to grab a foot-long ruler or if you have a soft measuring tape, that would work a lot better than measuring and then moving your ruler like I had to do here. Once we have measured out 12 inches of wire, we're going to clip it off with our wire cutters. Now we can begin shaping the wire. Placing it onto the ring mandrel, we are going to completely wrap the wire around the mandrel 5 times to create 5 petals for our flower. Wrap the wire tightly around the ring mandrel so that it creates that small circular shape, and then once we pull it off of the ring mandrel, we can double check to make sure we have as many petals as we need. The direction that we wrapped the wire is the direction that we are going to gently spread apart the spirals. So compressing the spiral, we are then going to gently pull and spread the circles apart so that we can then bend the wire and spread those apart to create more of a flower shape. Now that we have spread the wire, we can see the individual petals, and we just need to continue gently bending the wire so that it creates a circular shape. Next, I want to secure this end of wire. So I'm going to use my bent chain nose pliers and create a small hook at the very tip of the wire. And then I'm going to take that hook and attach the wire to itself and then secure it tightly by pinching it closed with the pliers. Once we have secured this end of wire, we're then going to go back and adjust the petals so that it is in our flower shape. The way the letter B is written, where it has the long back and then the 2 half circles, is how these flower petals are attached together. So that back of each petal is kind of straight, so we need to bend it a little bit so that it has a curve so that the flower petals sit more nicely in a circular shape. Now we have this long end of wire that is sticking out the back of the flower. And this is what we're going to use to create the center of the flower and also secure all the petals together. We're going to draw it up through the petal that is right next to it. So this is going to secure both ends of the flower together. And then we're going to bring it down through the petal that is opposite of the one that we just came up through. And then we're going to repeat this, crisscrossing the wire, kind of rotating our pattern, but going up and down into the petals that are opposite or across from each other. This does not have to be perfect at all, and we're simply wanting to make sure that we secure all of the flower petals together while at the same time creating the center of the flower. Continue wrapping the wire and securing it, crisscrossing it back and forth from petal to opposite petal until you have come to the end of the wire. Once we have reached the end of the wire, we're going to take our bent chain nose pliers and we're going to hide that end of wire and tuck it into the wrapping in the center of the flower. Make sure that it is securely hidden into the center of the flower so that that end does not stick out and won't get snagged on anything. Here I gently bent the wires just a little bit to create a slight curve to the flower, and then I am going to go back in with the bent chain nose pliers and we are going to start shaping the petals. On either side of the center point of each petal, we are going to bend the wire down towards the center of the petal. Creating this sort of dent in our wire is going to give the flower a more realistic look. After bending the wire the first time, I want to go back around the entire flower and sharpen those bends in the wire just to create a little more definition. This flower shape is so adorable, especially because it reminds me of the wild rose, which is where I get the rose in my name, Katie Rose, from. Okay, and now that we have finished the flower, we can go ahead and add the ear wire. So twisting the loop on the ear wire to the side, placing it onto any petal, and then securing the ear wire, we have finished our first flower dangle. Repeat all of these steps to create a second flower so you can have an adorable matching pair. And don't forget, when adding the flower onto the ear wire, if you created your flower to have a slight curve to it, make sure that that cup of the curve is towards the front of the ear wire, and that is going to look super cute. And now you have completed these wildflower dangle earrings. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.